Hi, hello, and welcome to another episode of An Anthropologist Watches Amberlynn read. I have a white cat with me, and we'll see how long that actually lasts. For that reason. So, this is Amberlynn's newest video, opening up about my dating life, everything I ate today, and easy pasta recipe. I recently found out I can't eat pasta anymore. It makes me sick. So, how you like them apples? Because I sure as hell don't. Alright, we are back in the closet. We really like the closet. We really like it in here. I think I'm holding on to my original assessment that the washer and the dryer are side by sides, and she's using them to prop herself up and using it to prop us up. Because God forbid we use a tripod. Okay, so before we get started, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. Thank you to everybody who's going to leave a thumbs up. And yeah, thank you to everyone who loves the cat. He loves himself, as you can't tell. Nose. Someday I'll actually play. Someday I will actually pay for the VCam, and you'll quit seeing the little logo there. But that today is not that day. So, all right, she is sped up to the traditional time and a quarter. I watched this already by myself, and there are some interesting things that she says and goes into here. And are you comfortable? I don't want you to be uncomfortable. That would be the end of the world. And so when we get to them, I will stop and talk about them, but this one's a little more interesting than normal. So, I know. All right, so again, I've already said we're in the closet. Giving us a nice look of those front molars there.
Hello. Welcome to a new vlog. I know I've been MIA.
Really? I didn't notice. Anytime she does a long gap like this, she makes a point of letting us know that she knows that she's been gone. Hang on. She lets us know that she knows that we know that she's been gone a while. And it's always one of those non-apologies. She had to close her eyes. She couldn't look at us. I speculate why she's been gone. I think it's to do with the girly she's been talking to. So we'll see.
I don't know. I feel like I have a million things to say, but are any of them worth saying? That's my headspace right now. But anyways, hello, I am vlogging today. So it took me almost 2 hours to do my hair. And
why?
That's why I haven't put waves in it, because it does take literally forever. So a lot of people have.
I will say the waves look good on her. I know they're a pain in the ass for her, but you know, A, cut your hair and you wouldn't have that problem, and B, use like use that trick you do where you take a towel or a headband and you wrap your hair around it and you let it dry. That actually works really well on my hair when I do it. I like it.
I've asked about my fairy hair. I can wash it, straighten it, curl it, do whatever I want with it. What it is like these strands, which silk? No. Really? Ugh, I don't remember what, but it goes to the root of just one of your hair.
Plastic? You mean plastic? Little strips of plastic? They're not silk.
And it's just like a knot. So when that natural hair comes out or falls out, that's when the fairy hair will come out. I
know it's a very complicated process. I think I mentioned how you do this when she first got it. I watched somebody else do a hair tutorial, and I guess the fairy hair thing is really popular with the K-pop kids for like 5 seconds, and so she was demonstrating how to get that fairy hair look with pieces of tinsel that you literally just tie onto like the tightest part of your scalp as you can. So there you go, if you were ever wondering.
In total, I've had 2 or 3 fall out already. I am planning on getting more. I'm probably going to stick with the gold because I feel like it goes really good with my hair. But yeah, you just treat your hair like you normally treat it. You wash it, brush it, whatever it may be. And yeah. Currently taking my baby for a walk. Yeah. It honestly feels so good outside today. Like what? So I think I'm going to walk Twinkie a little bit further than we usually go because it just feels so good.
Was that a truck?
So I think I'm going to walk Twinkie a little bit further than we usually go because
she's right on a roadside.
Just feels so good.
Yep, that's a semi. Because usually power lines run along the same side. Power lines usually run along roads. It's just more convenient for utilities that way. That is a semi of some variety. And was that a box store behind her? This is more of the outside than we've seen in, like, since she moved. So, man, they still have leaves on their trees. Lucky ducks.
Okay, so I think I just came to terms with I need to start doing my makeup in natural sunlight.
Okay. You do that.
Because your girl be looking a little different when she's in the sunlight.
Honey, you look different in the sunlight. I don't think you know what you look like anymore because you don't go out very often.
Y'all, I'm just noticing that every single day.
Yeah, it's like a skyscraper there. So she's real close to a downtown. They have skyscrapers in Oklahoma. In Oklahoma, y'all. I have no idea. I know the name of the area she's in. She hasn't said it herself out loud, so I'm not going to mention it, but I have no idea what the town actually looks like. So it looks like it has an actual downtown to it, though, so. Go.
Y'all, I'm just noticing that every single day I am improving my stamina, and I love it.
How so? Please describe said improved stamina.
I think everyone's favorite question is like, how do you do it? It's really...
Who are these people she has conversations with? Like... Do you think she actually makes up virtual friends to ask her these questions in her head? Or is it kind of like, these are the questions she wishes people would ask her?
It's just me pushing myself to do more. So I'm feeling a little hungry. I noticed that a lot of the foods that I'm eating lately, very high in sodium. Here's a beautiful example of that. My favorite freaking pickle ever. So I am a texture girly. This right here. It's the...
That was suspicious. She cut out the part where she actually fed herself. Interesting.
Vlasic Big Crunch Snackums Kosher Dill. This is the way to go.
How does Vlasic get their crunchy pickles so damn crunchy? Like, what black magic are they performing on their pickles? They really do have the crispiest, crunchiest pickles.
So good. I've also come to the terms I really like the cool blue Gatorade as well.
Come to terms?
So that's a thing.
Why are you standing in the refrigerator while you're eating? Why don't you take the food and the drinks out of the refrigerator, including your camera, and then eat hovering over the island in your kitchen? Like, what is the point of this?
I need like a meal though, because that's having one pickle. That's not going to sustain me. So I think I'm going to have this pesto tortellini. It's the Great Value brand.
You're going to stand in the fridge while you have that microwaving? I mean, is the AC that bad in your apartment?
Tastes homemade. Literally the best thing I've ever ate. Like,
what was the point of those duck lips? I'm sorry, I'm being very nitpicky right now because, like, I'm trying to pick up on a couple things. When I first watched this, she was speaking in a new way. It's not new, but it is new for this area. I don't know how to put that. She has spoken like this in the past. It is new to this era, this post-Feline era.
so good.
So good.
So we just left bingo. My mom won. I didn't. So, boo. So my sweet angel baby is currently in the sink because while mama was gone, she got into something and I literally can't figure out what it is at all.
Twinkie slimmed down. I mean, I know she's stretched out, but she's got a shape going on there. Good for her. Not really sure how she's managed it, but good dog. Good. Good, Twinkie. Now, pass that on to your owner.
But she has green all over her face. I'll post a picture here so you guys can see. It's okay.
That's weird. If I came home and my white cat was green, yes, it would get a bath, but I would be like taking the house apart to figure out where that came from, because that's just not good. Also, look how her knuckles are doing that brown thing again. Remember when she was going through that whole, like, I don't put concealer on my knuckles? I don't know if she ever did or not, but in certain lighting, her knuckles and her... Are those still knuckles? Her finger knuckles also turn kind of... Well, they turn very dark brown like they are right now. That's interesting.
She's actually a sweet baby. She hates baths, but she's really good and she listens.
I know. How dare. I did it just to insult you.
But what is this green on you? What is it? We gotta get it off. Are you mama's good girl? Oh, come here. Oh, it's okay. I don't know what was green. We gotta figure it out. Yeah. Y'all,
Twinkie's like, I tell no tales.
the last episode, the finale of Squid Game, The Challenge, is up, and I'm so excited. This genuinely has been such a freaking good show, so I think
We must have this discussion again. Everyone, please, gather around. The point of the show, Squid Games, was commentary on how bloodthirsty we are as viewers that we would watch a game show about people getting murdered for money. It wasn't a positive message. You're ruining the seriousness of my moment. Therefore, making a video game or making a TV game show based on the television show means you missed the point entirely. And the fact that all of y'all are watching the damn show just proves the point of the guy who wrote the show. This is why the AI wins, y'all. Just putting it out there.
I'm gonna have a couple drinks. I am an adult.
Are you, though?
We're fine, folks. I know
Are
people...
we?
What am I doing with my hair? I know people...
Petting it way too much. That's a face. Deep thought. Think the deep thoughts.
are worried. There's...
She's like, are worried? Why are you worried? I've only gotten online drunk 5-6 times now in the past month. Why would that worry you?
nothing to be worried about. I'm sorry that I ever gave that impression.
No,
There was
not.
a moment where I felt like I was turning to alcohol, and I'm really
So I decided to keep drinking.
not, because I noticed if I'm in a bad mood, I'm not going to drink. I've talked about this before. I kind of just want to sit here.
You do understand that overconsumption of alcohol on a regular basis while you're in a good mood is still a sign of alcoholism, right? Just, pointing these things out.
As the girly pop that I am, and I want to watch this final episode. It's 44 minutes long. Y'all, my attention span is non-existent. There's only a
No shit.
few shows where I can actually sit and be like, wow, I am so entertained. This is one of them.
Sorry.
And also Jersey Shore Family Vacation. That's top 2 right now, where I can actually sit and watch a full episode.
So the only things that can hold your attention for any length of time is trash TV and trash game show made after a TV series that was commenting on the gladiatorial bloodlust of the audience. Gotcha.
In one go. No movies, nothing. I can't do that with literally anything. I can't do it with a YouTube video, nothing. Speaking of YouTube video, Chantal, her new video, I'm obsessed. Saying how she lied about her weigh-in. Literally, okay,
Oh, perfect. The constant white knighting for Foodie Beauty, no matter what Foodie does. There are so many things in Foodie's past that Amber has commented on in the past about how those are the signs of a terrible person: the cheating, the drug use, the lying, and a very bad pet ownership. All of these traits are front and center with Chantal. And yet, Chantal can do no wrong in Amber's eyes. Does she have a crush on Chantal? Like, is Chantal like her ultimate? Of all of the people to tie your wagon to hitch your wagon to, why Chantal? She's like... Chantal is only slightly better than Shanny for Christ, in my opinion. And Shanny for Christ could fall into a lake of fire and be dissolved by acid. And I still don't think she will have suffered enough. If that tells you my opinions on things. So, why Amber insists on tying her already shaky reputation to Chantal's, I don't get. I really don't get. It's not a good move. But Amber's not exactly known for, like, solid career movements. Solid career decisions.
Do you want my crown? Because I can go get it for you, polish it off. Like, that's the type of energy we need in this community because, oh my God, people, I can't. Everyone wants me and Chantal to be bigger than what we really are. And it's like, y'all, we're already big. Like, trust me.
I mean, I'm with her there one. There are a lot of people out there who want to say that Amber's bigger than she is, and like all of her weigh-ins are lies and yada yada yada. And again, my stance is I don't care. She's huge. What do you... Does it matter?
You already have that on us, so you don't need to make us even bigger than we already are. So I'm gonna go get me a buzzball from my fridge. I'm gonna crack it open. I'm gonna start this episode. I'm so freaking excited. Okay, so I'm gonna have a pineapple colada buzzball, and I think I'm also gonna have some salami and some of this garlic and herb cheese spread with some crackers. I'm gonna watch my show. It's gonna...
Okay. Her diet so far has consisted of spicy preserved meats, highly processed flavored cheeses, crackers, and alcohol. Ungatorade. We don't drink water anymore. We just drink Gatorade, apparently. It's the same thing. I mean, it's idiocracy, isn't it? Water. Electrolytes. It was what plants crave. I was just thinking, like, you know how sometimes you eat something, especially things with like a lot of like garlic and MSG in it, and it kind of gives you like the burps and other things. I'm just like, her breath has got to be rank, just 24/7. And I'm not trying to be mean. It's just the thought that popped into my head. I know she eats some pasta later on, but honestly, the last few days of eating that we've seen, she's just living off of salami, lunch meat, and cheese with like pickles and mustard and cottage cheese. I wonder if she's doing the cottage cheese diet thing again. She's not buying enough vegetables for that. I don't know.
It'll be a time, I promise. Cheers.
Yay.
Just have to be on guard.
Form these bonds.
Honestly, today has been a weird pasta day for me.
I would like to point out that she went out of her way to not look at the camera when she took that bite. I actually want to go back and watch it again. Buzzball. I don't care. Yeah, look. Ah, that's a face. Actually, I kind of want to see the...
It's gonna be a time, I promise. Cheers.
She was trying not to watch herself. She was just like... kind of a thing.
Just have to be on guard.
Watch.
Form these bonds.
Honestly,
Yeah, she was fighting it to not look at the camera when she took a bite out of that cracker. Are you watching my videos? Anyway, I've always said that Amber responds to the feedback that she gets from her channels, the reaction channels. And I'm not gonna say this. I'm the only one who's called her out on this whole like feeding herself in front of her own camera thing. I'm sure a lot of people have said it, but she's obviously picked up on it. That we've picked up on it, and now, at least in this episode, she purposely didn't show us her eating that pickle. Like, she cut that out entirely. The cracker, she forced herself not to look at the camera, and when she was taking a sip of that buzzball, man, she side-eyed the camera at least twice before she was able to take a sip of it, and then still ended up looking at the camera. So she's trying to hide or modify the behavior that we, the reaction channels, are picking up on. Kind of like the whole, I'm an adult, I can have a drink. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that deep. Maybe. But when you have at least 5 out of the last 7 videos that you've put up, and you've had some kind of alcohol consumption in it, to the point where a couple of them you were just so drunk you couldn't continue, there's a reason why people are concerned. Even I got concerned, especially after the 2 a.m. Taco Bell run. Like, what was going on there? That's not even normal behavior on camera for her. So that's why I was kind of like, this is weird. But it looks like all the girls are going nuts right now. Is it just a December thing? In December, do all of the girls in Girl World just turn into, like, drama llamas just for the drama? It's because I know we get better revenue during December. I'm already seeing it, and I'm floored. So I get it, but I'm not gonna, like, do this shit just for views, yo.
Today has been a weird pasta day for me. I don't really usually have this much pasta.
Do you think if she cuts her hair, she thinks she won't be able to play with it as much? Do you think that's part of it? Like, she loves to play with her hair. Do you think she thinks if she cuts it, she won't have as much hair to play with? And, like, that's a drawback for her? Because she really likes to play with and pet and caress her hair all the time. It's like a power move for her, but it's obviously a soothing gesture for her as well. But you can also tell when she's feeling herself because she's screwing with her hair a lot.
But your girl's craving carbs, so
you should totally give in to that craving.
I'm currently just boiling some elbow pasta here.
Macaroni.
And then I'm gonna add some of this
macaroni. It has a name.
Unsalted butter, garlic salt, grated Parmesan cheese, and some tapatio, and it's gonna be great, I promise. This is the pasta I'm using, Barilla elbows. So one thing about me is I do like my pasta al dente. I do not.
I don't know how I feel about this. She's boiling her pasta in a pan. But I know she's going to add a bunch of crap to it, too. So on the one hand, this is very Amber. So just damn weird. Like, we're lucky she's using a silicone stir stick. Spatula. On the other hand, she's going to put a bunch of other ingredients in it that are going to need to go into the pan. I still say you could have done it all in a pot, but I don't know how I feel about this. Is this genius? Or is this just like... she's a weirdo. She does something really obviously planned weirdness later. Spoilers.
Not like it's squishy, no, and smushy.
Al dente. You like your pasta al dente. Good God. Just learn basic cooking words.
No. Let me try one here. That is pretty close to perfect. So let me let it boil for another, I'd say, minute or so.
No.
Okay, I'm going to take this and strain it. I'll be right back. I left the tiniest bit of water in there.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to add the butter, garlic salt, the Parmesan.
You know, it'd taste even better? Actual Parmesan.
And the tapatio. And then I just continuously stir It usually takes a few minutes.
To...
So as it does its thing, I'm actually just going to turn off the burner because the heat will stay. I made this, I want to say like a week ago, and it was so delicious. I was like, okay. I don't know what it is, but I'm just like not on track.
You are on track. Suggestions. Less water, perhaps even use milk instead. Use real Parmesan. It tastes completely different than that shit. And I don't have anything wrong with Tapatios. I like hot sauce in my stuff. The butter. Yeah, the butter will stick better if you don't use as much water. I know that there's a trick with the pasta water and something, the starch in the water from the pasta will make sauce stick to the macaroni better. I just, from the amount of bubbling that was occurring, I just think she had too much water in there, if that made sense. And so it made her sauce, she just made like a little sauce. It just made her sauce too thin. And because of that, she had to cook the water down, and cooking the pasta in the water down is going to make the pasta mushier. So, but elbow macaroni is pretty forgiving. So you can overcook elbow macaroni and it's still pretty decent. Just, you know, tips and tricks.
At all in any sort of way. And I was actually thinking about going back to 1 meal a day, which is what I was doing when I lost 30 pounds in just 1 month.
This is going to be the new 89 pounds. You weren't doing OMAD though. By your own admission, you were actually eating 2 meals plus a snack. So that's not OMAD. Just putting that out there. Were you eating better? Maybe? And definitely 2 meals plus a snack is probably less than you eat on the normal. So that's good, but that's not OMAD.
Like, that genuinely works for me so well.
She did lose weight.
All right, so here is my pasta. I promise it might not look the greatest, but it tastes so good. So I'm sure there's plenty to come from.
There's nothing wrong with that pasta. Like I said, I would totally eat that. I would prefer real Parmesan, but, you know, I guess I'm bougie like that. Also, I know Amber could afford real Parmesan, so...
24 in this video.
Yeah,
but I think I own like 3 spoons. And they're dirty. I really didn't feel like cleaning them, so I'm literally eating my pasta with a measuring spoon.
Oh my god, you're so quirky. That's such a bachelor thing to do. Oh my god. You couldn't be bothered to wash a spoon. Whatever. This is totally for show. It's bait. It's a trap. So don't fall for it, but you know. She thinks it makes her quirky and special, so we're just gonna roll with it. You goofy girl, you.
Yes, I am.
Mm. There we go.
So I will say that something
So we made it all the way to the pasta, and she didn't try to hide that she was eating it from... She wasn't trying to hide that she was watching herself eat with the pasta. I think the reasoning for that, however, was that she wanted to see herself eating the food, eating the food off of the tablespoon, because it's so quirky and weird. But up until this point, she has tried her hardest to hide her watching herself eat. Up until this point.
I've noticed living on my own is like, I cook a lot for one person because I'm used to cooking for 2 people. But
this is the other thing I wanted to call out. Since when? You and your girlfriends, as far back as Destiny, they don't eat the same food you do. They occasionally would eat your chili because that's a thing. But I don't even think Crystal ate your cooking. And I know you would eat Wifey's cooking because you made a big deal out about that for a while. But the only food I saw you share with Feline was the milkshake that you made with the PB2. Maybe she ate your chili once. And anything you put in the air fryer, that's not really cooking for 2. you have never, whenever you cook, Amber has cooked. Amber has always only cooked for herself. These portions that she makes are the portions that she cooks. So I don't know where she's pulling this. I make large portions because I'm used to cooking for 2 people, because she's not a domestic goddess. And I think she really wants to be. I think this is me thinking through things, just pulling off things that I've seen her do and heard her say, and just going back over the Mr. Snowflake stuff. You know, Amber, I think I mentioned this in the last video. Amber wants to be the Betty to her partner's Butch. And so she wants to be the femme, and she wants her partner to be the masculine. And so the partner, as we've seen with pretty much everybody from Destiny forward, they're the ones that work the job. They're the ones that put shit together. They're the ones that go out in the car. They're the ones that drive. Amber is the one that stays home, and she makes a huge deal out of when she cleans. I think in part because she doesn't do it that frequently, and also because, you know, a housewife cleans, and so she wants to show off her domestic skills by the cleaning. I think that's a lot of what the cooking is as well. She wants to show off that she's a good little housefrau by showing off her cooking. Because look, I made dinner for my hardworking partner who has come home from the factory, you know. I think Amber would be really happy in like a 1950s household style if her husband was actually her girlfriend. And I just pick up on this more and more, and especially the older she gets, like, because she doesn't have any like real world skills. I really kind of get the feeling that Amber wants to be a kept woman, and she wants to be perceived, at least, as being a housewife, a housefrau, and she's bad at it. And that's where this whole like, I'm so used to cooking enough for 2 people. Girl, no, you're not. Your girlfriends will not eat your cooking. You have to like threaten them apparently to get them to say nice things about your food. That's just how I've been picking up on it. But anyway, she says some other stuff here, so let's keep going.
One thing I am proud of, like, you guys, a few years ago, like, I would have made too much, ate the whole thing, but this is how much that I am saving for tomorrow.
She says as she puts the spoon back into the bowl. No one believes that, and I don't believe it. Just looking at your body language, I don't believe it. What is this? So she's trying to convince whoever's watching her, who isn't her long-term watchers, that she's not going to eat that entire bowl of food. I will not sit here and lie to you. I could put that bowl of pasta away. Sorry, there we go. I could eat that whole bowl of pasta, which is the other reason I don't make pasta very often, unless I do actually have someone else in the house to share it with. But I can't have pasta anymore, so. Listen.
I will say I do have a bad habit of always putting all of my food in one bowl when it's like obvious I'm not going to eat the whole thing.
Is it though? Why would you do that? Why would you not portion out your food? And also, I've seen you portion out your food, including the pasta dishes you've made in the past with macaroni. So again, you're describing behavior that you've not demonstrated at all, ever. Usually the portion that you put in the bowl is the portion that you eat. And that's pretty much true for damn near everyone. I don't know anyone who puts more food on their plate or in their bowl than they're intending to eat, because why would you do that? That's wasteful. And you're taking food away from people who, like, if you're in a group situation, you're taking food from people who would rather eat it. I understand that, like, in like a potluck kind of a situation, you might have too much food just because like your eyes are bigger than your stomach kind of a situation. But who intentionally walks up and intentionally goes, in their head, I'm only going to eat like a cup of this, so I'm going to put 2 cups in my bowl just because I can. Who does that? I mean, probably there is somebody who does that, but why?
Maybe it's because, like, for me, it's satisfying knowing, like, I can stop myself now from eating the whole thing, whereas
Also call bullshit, but again, this is some weird power play. No, it's not. It's not a power play. It's like is it a virtue signaling? I guess, because she's signaling that she has the virtue of control at this point. Like, I have the control to stop myself from eating all of this food, even though I've filled my bowl to overflowing. I'm only really going to eat a couple few bites. Like, first off, other than you're maybe measuring it by the teaspoon or tablespoon there, normally you don't really have any idea how much food you've eaten if you're just eating it out of a bowl kind of situation like that. Like, a spoon can either be a large spoon or a little spoon or even like your dessert spoons. They're all going to put different amounts of food into your mouth, and if you're not keeping track of it, hence why most people don't put more of a portion into their plate than they're intending to eat, you know, you don't know how much you've actually eaten. So, but she looks, look at her, she's like, I have found God. We're saving this one. I gotta update the thumbnail anyway. I need like a ray of God light coming down on her face. Anyway. On the one hand, I want to sit here and be like, this is stupid. But on the other hand, I want to figure out why she thinks this is intelligent to say. Like, who is she fooling? Who is she trying to fool? And why does she think her current audience is going to believe any of this?
years ago, your girl would have ate this whole bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But all of this, I'm done. That was so good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna save the rest for later. I'm currently on my 3rd buzz ball.
An hour from now.
Just kind of enjoying the night. I know a lot of you want me to live stream, especially while Drunklin is making an appearance. And I think about it a lot. I do. I have it in my brain frequently to live stream. Even sober, I feel like it would be super freaking fun. I have not live streamed since moving. I haven't live streamed since, when was the last time?
She was thinking deep there. It's the staged stuff like that that makes everybody call her out for being so fake, because that isn't how that goes down. Like, when was the last time I live streamed? Oh, yeah, that's not authentic. It's very staged. It's very bad acting. I don't remember when the last time she live streamed was, because I don't watch her Instagram. Maybe I should. Maybe I should start following her Instagram a little harder.
Yeah, okay, I remember now. So I don't know. It's like, even talking about it now, I'm like, oh my god, should I go live stream right now?
I notice the drunker she gets, the more she acts like Trisha Paytas. I don't know if that's like intentional, or if, I mean, maybe she just really is like Trisha Paytas. Maybe she really does just talk like and act like Trisha Paytas, and when she's drunk, it just comes out. But I have noticed that, like, the more tipsy she gets, or the more whatever the fuck was wrong with her during the Taco Bell episode, the more like Trisha Paytas she acts.
I know a lot of people want tea, which I have tea. Especially like my dating life. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do, you know.
Tea on what? Yourself?
I have been talking to people, and I'm open to that, but like, I don't think I'm open for a relationship right now, unless, like, you know, I fall in love, or I'm
So give it 24 hours.
just like, oh my god, this person is so perfect, you know.
Like every other girlfriend. Like, who are you trying to fool? Why are you acting like most of us haven't seen you in every relationship you've had online? Like, who are you trying to kid here?
I'm not really like looking for a relationship. I know people think that that's the case, but I actually love living by myself. So even if I got into a relationship, I don't want to like have a live-in relationship. I want to experience being in a relationship with someone where it's like, we go on dates and like you drop me off at my house, or like I have days where I'm able to miss you, like dating, like true dating. Like I don't want a live-in girlfriend because that's what I've been doing since I was 18. And I'm fixing to be 33 on the 27th. It is my birthday month, folks. Yes, it is. So it's like, you know, that's a whole era within itself that lasted over a decade. It lasted 14 years. And it's like, I want to experience like continuously living on my own.
You know what? I think she's being honest right now. Like, I've been watching. I'm so sorry about this one. This one's bad. But, no, I was just watching her face and her eye movements. And I mean, yeah, she keeps dipping into her deceptive zone. It's hard to pick up because of the angle that she's got us at. But for the most part, I think she really was in her like thinking zone. I think she does currently believe that that's what she wants. I think she does think she wants to be single in with a girlfriend that comes over and visits and takes her places and then brings her home and leaves her at home. I think she does think that. And I don't know. I hope she does it because I feel like that's a completely different way of living and dating than she's ever demonstrated doing. I just think it would be better for her because then at least she'd get to know the person before they start living together.
And taking care of homely responsibilities by myself and just being like independent in that way. Whereas like a partner is just like an extra part of my life and not like my whole life. I have a bad habit of making my partners my whole life.
And here we get into another part that I just like, I'm sure I'll have something to say in a minute.
Especially like, I mean, even in like talking stages, I tend to do that as well. And I want to blame it on my BPD because as you guys know, I was diagnosed borderline personality disorder. Like
okay, so wait, BPD is now borderline personality disorder and not... Oh, no, wait, that's right. Sorry, I was getting myself confused. Sorry, she has so many of them. It's hard to keep track. Never mind. You don't get to blame your bad habits and your nasty traits and your creepy behavior on your diagnoses that you refuse to do anything about. Because all that tells me is that you're too damn lazy to take care of yourself. Amber has time, she has money, and she has access to be able to get treatment long term for her BPD. She refuses to do it. She's not in a situation where she doesn't have the ability to find a doctor that's capable of treating her, or she doesn't have the ability to pay for the treatment that she's going to have to go through or the medications that she might have to have. She's not in a situation where she doesn't physically have the time to fit in therapy sessions because there's going to be a lot of them. She doesn't have any of those problems that are the usual stumbling blocks for most people who want to get help and can't because of usually one of those three reasons and other reasons that I'm not listing because I'm just not thinking of them. Amber doesn't have those problems. She has declared publicly that she will not pursue treatment. She won't even take meds to find out if they fucking work or not. You can't even say the medications don't work for her because she never takes them long enough to find out. Anyway, continue to try to use your diagnoses as excuses for your shitty behavior. Go.
I want to blame it on that. But I think also just like, I don't know, sometimes it's hard to like separate your true self with, is this just like my mental illness? But deep down, I know that like I have a big heart and I tend to love people very strongly. That's just like who I am at my core. And I don't think I ever want to change that about me because I feel like that's a beautiful thing.
But I feel like I'm an awesome person and that everybody should just love me because I exist on the planet. I don't personally think Amber understands what actual like love is. I think Amber has a strange definition of love that she's developed over the years, but as far as like, excuse me, the concept of a healthy relationship that would demonstrate other aspects of love, like, you know, trusting your partner, contributing to the relationship, being a reliable go-to if something were to happen to your partner. You know, I don't think anybody has Amber on their emergency contact list for if something happens to them, is kind of my point. Um, because I don't think anybody trusts Amber to be their emergency contact kind of a situation. And I think those are the aspects, the responsibility of love. I don't think Amber understands that part. All Amber thinks of when she thinks of love is how it makes her feel and how much she can manipulate somebody with the concept of her love. I hope that made sense.
There's just so much like hate in the world, and I'm just not that girly.
Aren't you though? Didn't you tell somebody to burn in hell next to Trump? Don't get me wrong. I'm actually kind of sort of on her side on that one, but that was kind of extreme. That was a level I didn't want to go to. Aren't you the one that like said that some waitress deserved to be slapped because she irritated you or something? Aren't you the one that leaves all these nasty messages about the bus drivers because they're having a bad day and you didn't appreciate it? Like, and as much as I don't appreciate where the emails came from, aren't you the one that left the voicemails on Becky's mom's phone while she was going through her own cancer diagnosis? Yeah, you're a bastion of warmth and love.
I've never been that girly, and I know a lot of you dislike me because of things I've done or said in the past, and it's just like overall as a whole, I have changed a lot.
In the last 24 hours.
Why am I getting emotional?
Because you're drunk.
I owe a big thanks to my ex because I just I feel like I am super immature in a lot of ways. I'm very childish, but
Yes.
she helped ground me a little bit, and I feel like I matured in certain aspects for sure. I'm always gonna be childish and I'm always gonna troll online, but
like it's some kind of fucking virtue. I'm always gonna troll online. Okay. Cool. Then you don't get to get mad at us when we call you out for trolling.
it's never out of like illness. Like it's never like ill. What is that saying?
Ill will. She's trying to come up with the word ill will. And that's kind of the definition of trolling. You don't troll people by sending them positive messages where you're cheering them on for the next phase of their life. That's not what trolling is. Trolling is being sarcastic and snarky and deceptive online for the sheer pleasure of getting one over on people. Or thinking you're more clever than your audience, which always backfires.
It's never like in an ill way, like a bad way. It's always just coming from like, hi, I'm a troll and I like to be stupid sometimes, you know? I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point.
When did being a troll become a virtue? Like when did becoming a troll and being a troll become an aspiration? I'm old. I remember the old days of the internet where you really were like online, no one knows if you're a dog kind of a situation. I have never heard trolling being used in a positive way or as a ha 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 kind of a thing. I've always heard and used the term in a, I guess, derogatory kind of way. If someone calls you a troll, it's not a badge of honor. I mean, unless you're that weirdo that's like, yeah, I like it when people talk down to me. I mean, I don't know. It's like the same people that are like, take pride in being an asshole. I don't get that mentality, and that's kind of where we're going here. Like when I hear somebody say, "Oh, I'm a troll," tee hee hee, all I hear is, "Oh, I'm an asshole," ha ha. That's what I hear, and that's what I'm hearing right now coming out of her mouth.
Don't mind me. I don't know. I've just been thinking a lot lately, like just about life in general and YouTube. I have went back and I've watched videos from like 2019, 2017, and I feel like those eras were a very different Amberlynn. Like truly a very different Amberlynn. And it's like I had no filter back then, like to the point of like I even shocked myself with some of the things that I said. And I really feel like that's a big reason why people stuck around and watched me, because it's like I shared the craziest things, and now it's like those things that I shared then I would never share now. And
These edits are amazing, by the way. These jump cuts are just...
I feel like it's causing like a big disconnect, and I literally hate that. I'm truly trying to find a balance between current Amberlynn, but also the Amberlynn that you guys enjoy most, and I am having a little bit of a hard time figuring that out. So I think it's just like we all need to be patient. I need to be patient with myself. I need you guys to be patient with me. I know my content is very far few in between. Like I only upload once to like twice, maybe 3 times a week. And I want to go back to like
3 times a week would be fine. Once a week would be fine, as long as it's predictable. It's the unpredictability of her content that drives me nuts a little bit.
every other day. And it's like I just actively find myself
These jump
feeling
cuts.
super self-conscious about what I'm filming, what I'm saying. And
You
I
should
don't
be.
like that feeling.
You should be. You're putting this on the internet. What part of the internet do people not get? Her and Anna, by the way, this entire speech is doing nothing but reminding me of Anna when Anna has one of her kitchen counter moments where she's like, I'm not like that anymore. Kind of thing that she does, which I'm sure we're going to get another one of soon. I also was wondering when we were going to get a cathartic moment from Amber where she reflects upon herself and comes clean about all the bullshit that she's pulled in the last whatever amount of time. Like the Catholic confessional, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been 6 months since my last cathartic video. It's just, I was wondering when we were going to get another one of these. And yeah, so we're getting it. And also, with all the crap that's been going on with glitter and lasers, this is identical. The same sounding words, the same cadence of speaking, the same sniffing, the same almost crying, the same mea culpa, I'm trying to change, why can't you accept the new me kind of a thing. It's all the same. It's all the same. They're like identical. I think Amber's heavier than Anna, but that's only because Anna's like 5'7".
Feeling at all. So it prevents me from filming, and I really, really hate that. Sorry, if you see me looking down, I'm just like playing with this guy over and over and over.
Or you're going into your lie zone and you know that, so you're trying to cover up the fact that you keep going into your deceptive zone by claiming that you're playing around with your buzzball. I do believe she's playing around with her buzzball, by the way.
A very fidgety person, like random fact, but I'm sure if you guys have watched me long enough, you know that because it's something that I have shared countless times. Anyways, I'm literally just rambling at this point. I should have just live streamed.
Finn. Other than my rant about her using her mental health as a shield one more time, I was wondering when we were going to get another cathartic moment from her. Here it is. She does this fairly regularly. She trolls and she screws around and she makes life difficult for her audience. And then at some point, she decides to have a I'm coming clean moment. That was this. And then the next couple videos, we act like nothing happened. Like nothing ever happened. I think it is interesting that she's hiding her eating because that tells me that she is watching the reaction channels and she is hearing people say this, that she's got her own... She derives her own pleasure out of watching herself eat, kind of a situation. She does address the drinking and then proceeds to get drunk on camera. Again, completely missing the point of what everybody keeps telling her that they're concerned about. But then she also talks about how, what I've been seeing since I've started this channel, she she's trying to change herself. She's trying to turn herself into something new. She wants a new Lynn for the future going forward. But she also knows that most people on here are either hate watching her or they're watching her for reactions. And so she knows that's where her bread and butter is. And so she's admitting that she's having a hard time balancing being the drama llama troll that she seems to think she is. She's just bad at it. And creating this new Lynn persona that she wants to have. And I believe her when she says she's having a hard time balancing that, because she can't at the same time be troll Lynn and also altruistic, big-hearted new Lynn. Like, those two Lyns can't exist in the same space. And, I mean, past this prologue, Troll Lynn is going to win, because Troll Lynn usually does. But, I mean, hear me out. What if she did somehow manage to do a 180 on her personality? I'm not saying she did. She can. I'm just saying, what if she did? And the new person, the new Lynn person, is good, is better, is, you know, apologizes for things and doesn't make the same mistakes and isn't a total user of her partners. What if she manages that? Like, would we as an audience acknowledge it? And would we as an audience accept it? Or would we continue to basically punish her for her behavior in the past? Because that's a lot of what happens here. I mean, I'm not saying her past behavior wasn't bad or problematic. It was. But a lot of her audience and a lot of the like hate and stuff that she gets on the internet comes from those moments in her past. But also, 10 years for Amber is like eternity. I mean, 10 years for me is 10 years, obviously. Like, I don't think I'm the exact same person I was 10 years ago from today, but I think at this point I was pretty solidified in like my base personality traits, kind of a thing. Like, I say like a ton still, so that hasn't changed. But that's kind of my point, though. With Amber, you know, she's like, I'm looking back at 2019 and 2017. I have to go back and double check 2017. But she's like, oh, you know, I could see why people don't like me because of the way I acted in those years. And it's like, but yeah, you still did it, though. And you can't take it back. It's not like you can rewind. It's not like a Sims game. You can't reload and try over again. She's stuck, you know? And I'm not entirely sure what she could do to really take any of that back. But this is me thinking out loud. What if, on top of hard shifting into New Lynn, she finds God? I know there's a bunch of you on here who are religious. I am not, so I'm going to try to be careful. But what if she finds Jesus, and that is her pivot point? How many people in the audience are going to go along with that and be forgiving of her past behavior because she's found God? Something to think about. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but she is setting the building blocks up for it. I will put that down. Let's see, what else? I do believe her when she says she wants to live alone and be independent and not have a live-in girlfriend. I believe that she thinks that right now. I don't know how long that will be true, because again, it's Amber's behavior to find a girlfriend, fall in love, move in. Those talk about marriage. That's her steps. She usually swings real hard off the last girlfriend into a new relationship. They move in immediately, and then sometime down the road, usually like a year and a half, she starts insisting that this is the one and they're going to spend the rest of their lives together and yada yada, and then they break up. That's the cycle. It's been well established at this point. So right now she has kind of broken that cycle because she doesn't currently have a live-in. As far as we know, she doesn't even have a girlfriend. Like, maybe she is flirting with some people online, which just blows my mind, but whatever. I don't have any reason not to believe her on that one, especially with the gaps in time. Typically, she does this when she's flirting with somebody, because they take up all of her time, as she is admitted to. So I guess it's just a matter of time to see which person that she's flirting with is the one that moves in. Because I don't see Amber... Well, she's only in a 1-bedroom, though, isn't she? Well, Amber's lease is for 12 months. So there you have it. I guess we'll see next October if she's got a girlfriend moving in or not. Or if they're moving to a bigger apartment or not. So, alright, at this point I'm just kind of like speculating and rambling and all this kind of crap. And I don't even have a buzzball. I'm just sad that I can't have pasta because it really did look good. I would use real cheese, not powdered tree dust, but you know, whatevs. To each their own. Alright, if we've made it this far in the video, go ahead and leave pasta down in the comments section. If you didn't see that one coming, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, go ahead and troll me with pasta. And let me know what you guys think. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you think there's a new girlfriend era incoming? I don't think so. Not anytime soon, at least. But I mean, eventually, yes, but not anytime soon. How do you feel about the new Lynn attempt? The attempt at a new Lynn, because she admitted it. How do you guys feel about that? How would you take it? Like, if the new Lynn truly was altruistic and big-hearted and kind, how would the audience react to that? Yeah, anything else that I brought up, I know the mental health thing comes up a lot. Just, again, that's like my button. She just knows how to push it. Yeah, subconsciously. Let me know if you guys are noticing the lack of eating, the lack of eye contact with the camera while eating. That really caught my attention. She's clearly on to us. And yeah, let's just continue to ignore the eating with a tablespoon thing because, okay. All right, so there's your things. Those are your questions. Go ahead and leave me pasta down in the comments section. Answer a question if you would like, or just leave a comment. And thank you again to everybody who's supporting this channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. All of you rock. Thank you to everybody who's celebrating a wonderful holiday, whichever it is. I don't celebrate anything other than Yule, so Mazel Tov, I guess. And I mean that with all good respect. And yeah, happy holidays to everybody, and happy winter time to those who don't celebrate anything at all. I will see everybody in the next one. Bye!